Meghan Markle and Prince Harry arrive in Australia after flying commercial for first visit since 2018 royal tour. Welcome back to Royal Chronicles, your #1 destination for everything happening inside and around the world's most talked about royal family. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell, because we drop royal news, deep dives, and exclusive royal commentary every single week. You do not want to miss what's coming. Now, let's get into today's story. Picture this. You're sitting in row 3 of a long-haul Qantas flight from Los Angeles to Melbourne, tired, maybe a little jet-lagged, and you have absolutely no idea that the couple seated just 2 seats away from you are the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. That's exactly what happened to passengers on flight QF94 this week. And by the time they landed, Australia would never be quite the same again. But here's the twist: this is not the grand royal homecoming you might be expecting. No red carpets, no palace motorcade, no crowds of thousands lining the streets. And that, my friends, is where this story gets really interesting. Stay with me. Early Tuesday morning, at precisely 6:38 a.m. local time, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle quietly touched down at Melbourne's Tullamarine Airport. They were seated in seats 3E and 3F aboard a commercial Qantas flight business class, having made the grueling 15-hour journey from Los Angeles. Most of their fellow passengers had no idea who was on board until the couple were quietly escorted off the tarmac by a private convoy the moment the plane landed. Think about that for a second. One of the most photographed couples on the planet, slipping through a commercial airport almost completely undetected. No royal fanfare, no official welcome party. Just Harry and Meghan, passing through customs like the rest of us. One American traveler on the flight summed it up perfectly: "It wasn't until we got off the plane that we realized it was them." Now, to truly understand why this arrival is sending shockwaves through the royal world, we have to go back. Back to 2018. Back to when Harry and Meghan were the golden couple of the British monarchy, newly married, radiantly in love, and about to embark on a 16-day official royal tour of the Pacific that Australia will never forget. In 2018, they walked hand in hand down the steps of the Sydney Opera House as thousands of Australians screamed their names. They cuddled koalas at Taronga Zoo. They announced their pregnancy with baby Archie on Australian soil, sending the nation into a collective frenzy of joy. It was, by every measure, a triumph. Fast forward to today, 2026, and the story looks dramatically different. No public walkabouts are planned. No official government reception. And instead of a royal aircraft, they took a commercial flight and went through customs just like everyone else. The privately funded 4-day visit spanning Melbourne, Canberra, and Sydney is a world away from the glamour of 2018. So what does this shift really mean? And why, after everything that has happened, did they choose to come back to Australia now? Keep watching. Despite the low-key arrival, day 1 proved that Harry and Meghan still have the unmistakable ability to create deeply moving moments. Their first stop was the Royal Children's Hospital in Melbourne, a place that has cared for young patients for over 150 years. And what happened there was nothing short of beautiful. The couple were greeted by hundreds of patients, their families, and hospital staff. They shook hands, gave hugs, offered waves and warm smiles to everyone in their path. Then came a moment that stopped everyone cold. A 4-year-old patient named Lily held up a hand-drawn sign reading, "Welcome Harry and Meghan," along with a flower she had prepared just for the Duchess. Meghan's response: "Oh my gosh, this is so sweet. I love it." They participated in garden therapy with patients, smelling flowers and plants, hearing stories, sitting with children in some of the most difficult moments of their young lives. Harry even cracked a joke when asked if he'd like to take some gumtree leaves home, quipping, "I would, but I think I'd probably get arrested at some point." Meanwhile, Meghan headed to a women's refuge operated by Markle Community Services, an organization supporting women and children facing family violence and homelessness. She put on an apron, stepped into the kitchen, and personally served frittata to the women there, turning to the room with a warm smile and asking, "Is anyone else hungry?" These are not the actions of people fading quietly from public life. But here's where the story takes a turn, and royal watchers are paying very close attention. Not everyone in Australia has welcomed Harry and Meghan with open arms. An online petition opposing the use of taxpayer money to fund policing operations connected to the visit has gathered more than 45,000 signatures and counting. The couple insists the entire trip is privately funded, but local media reports that certain security and policing costs will indeed fall to Australian taxpayers, and that has sparked a very real and very public debate. There are also questions about the nature of this visit itself. Alongside their charitable engagements, Harry is set to deliver a keynote address at the Inter-Edge Summit, a leadership and workplace well-being conference where delegate tickets run at over £500, with premium access reaching £1,250. And Meghan will headline an exclusive 3-day women's wellness retreat at a luxury beachside hotel in Sydney, tickets priced at over £1,400. Royal commentators have noted that this trip carefully blends philanthropy with commerce in a way that raises eyebrows. One observer put it bluntly, noting the couple are in dire need of income, and that this visit could be seen as an attempt to monetize their royal status, especially given that in 2018, Meghan was reportedly overheard saying she couldn't believe she wasn't being paid for this. Now she is. That irony has not been lost on anyone. Over the remaining days of their visit, the agenda is packed. Harry will travel to Canberra to visit the Australian War Memorial, meet with Indigenous veterans, and take part in the daily last post ceremony, a moment that is sure to be deeply emotional for a man who served 2 tours in Afghanistan and has spent years advocating for the mental health of military veterans through his Invictus Games Foundation. Harry founded Invictus in 2014, and Australia has always held a special place in that mission. It was in Sydney, in 2018, that they hosted the opening of the Invictus Games. In Sydney, the couple will sail around the iconic harbour with Invictus Australia representatives and attend a Super Rugby Pacific match between the NSW Waratahs and Moana Pacifica. And then there's Meghan's Her Best Life retreat, described by organisers as a girls' weekend like no other, which promises a global audience and is already generating enormous buzz. Their children, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, did not travel with them to Australia. So what does this visit truly tell us about where Harry and Meghan are right now? It tells us that they are navigating a fascinating and frankly unprecedented space. They are no longer working royals. They carry no official crown mandate. But they are undeniably still royals in the public's mind, still drawing crowds, still generating headlines, still capable of making a 4-year-old's entire year by holding her hand in a hospital room. They arrived on a commercial flight, went through customs, and got to work. No thrones, no processions, just 2 people trying to carve out a new kind of purpose somewhere between philanthropy, commerce, and legacy. Whether you love them or you're deeply skeptical, you cannot look away. And Australia. Australia is watching every single step. That is all for today's episode of Royal Chronicles. If you found this video valuable, smash that like button, it helps us more than you know. Subscribe if you haven't already, share this with a fellow royal watcher, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Are you glad Harry and Meghan are back in Australia, or do you think this visit raises more questions than it answers? I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay royal.